Hi, and welcome to Odyssey of Ascension. This is Roxanne once again. Thank you all for tuning in. And it is Friday, so let's get to channeling once again. And greetings once again to the collective. This is Ocyphius. We bid you all a good day. The idea of relationship. Not so much in the idea of relationship to reality, we've covered that, but this is of course directly idealized with that as well. However, we like to define it in a, let's say, more scoped value of a relationship with your idea, people in your reality. That kind of idea. Alright, last week's idea. Rather, Wednesday's idea of understanding indifference. That in and of itself is a definition. We gave you two other words to ponder with. The idea of neutral and the idea of divine nonchalance. You notice how every word has a meaning built within it, and it conjures up a different feeling within. Divine nonchalance, you own this place. Neutral, you're like, doesn't bother me. Or it's a choice. The idea of indifference, I might be cold. I don't have a heart because I'm feeling indifferent. Each and all of those words have a vibration of meaning that is collectively accepted by the collective as a whole. The meaning. Remember, all meanings of definitions automatically, in your idea of that word, of that idea, bring into your now, reflected back one way or another, the idea of that definition in your reality of reflection in the now. Understand that. So in the idea of, let's move over to the point. Yes. The point being the idea of family. We'll stay with that idea. The ideas of your important interactions during the day, your waking state, the relationships with family, friends, lovers, co-workers, bosses, your everyday, day-to-day life, relationships in that idea. Then those relationships will now, let's say, give you understanding of the definitions, and those definitions create your reality. Good? Sylvester, stand by. Greetings all.
Hey.
There's a lady. She's walking down the street. You notice her. She's in a department store. You notice her. A gentleman, a child, a stranger. You notice them. You give no value to them in its immediacy. Unless they irk you into an idea of maybe they're dressed-eyed or they're saying something or speaking loud. They do something to grab your attention. However, if you just walk by them casually and they're just an entity in your reality, you pay them no homage. Truly. But that entity has a very high probability of being some kind of interaction in your past or future nows as something of importance to you. Valuable. That entity, that lady, was your mother on your last lifetime. Is your husband on your last lifetime. Is your child on your last or your next lifetime. Doesn't matter. Don't worry about the future or the past. You get the idea. So, in this lifetime, your interactions with your people and the definition of your relationship to that person gives you the reality of that interaction in the now. I gotta go to work. You approached going to work. You have a definition of what was your coworkers, what was your boss, from the last interaction. You approach the now with the same idea as those people are that. Therefore, that reality becomes that. The expectation of your idea coworker that you're not getting along with frustrates you in the now, and you don't know how to let go of it. You're working on it, and when you leave work, you're thankful that it's over. And that idea coworker is servicing you. So you can start to understand your relationship between you and how you define it in that definition is creating the reality and the version of the person you're getting in that reflection. Done. Approach the moment tomorrow, next time you're interacting, differently, as you don't know them, or they're neutral, or be indifferent, or be divinely nonchalant about the interaction, or know that you own your reality, and when that interaction happens, watch that version change. It can be no other way. Your boss, are you obligated? If you are walking into your job fearing the loss of the job because you are lack, because your view of scope of your reality is without this, I don't have this, I don't have this, this will happen and this will happen. So you're dependent on the idea of going to work to receive that tiny little minuscule amount of abundance you call reality. And in that idea, you sculpt yourself to a victim or a lackful idea, and that becomes your boss. That's the definition of you. That's the reality you create. The fear keeps you in that reality. We understand. Exposure of the fear is now what we're exposing to you, and now you can choose different. Because it's your world. It's your reality. It's your bubble. You command it. It can be no other way. You go to work owning work. You all remember the first day of your job. You were scared shitless. You weren't sure. You were being extra nice, extra happy, extra helpful to get accepted. But once you got accepted and the idea, you shifted yourself and you noticed nothing bad happened. You're still there. But you still have a resonance within your definition of what you are, the role you play as an employee, to the idea of being at a job, because without it, my whole reality crumbles because I don't trust the higher self and all the probable worlds that I've already created for me that are joyful. So that definition changes myself in the idea mirror, and it gives me the version of the people around me. Coworker, boss, anything. All of it. It's your approach to the moment of the definition that you consider yourself and all nows to be. Now, shift over to an in-law, a lover, a spouse, kids, school, relationship with the teachers. If you're let's say, idea student, or you are a parent of a child that's in the student. Think about it. All of it. All of it is definition. Therefore, definition confines an idea of a belief system that was accepted when you heard and coveted the definition at whatever child idea, let's say, moment of now, that you took it in, accepted it, and it becomes that. And every time that interaction is related to you in that same frequency of matching definitions, therefore that's the vibration you automatically put the energy trust through, the 100% trust of will, birthing through that filter, resonating the reflection in the mirror, giving you that reality once again, wondering why it doesn't change. Obligation to the parents now. We've talked to many ideas that are moving the idea of themselves in the relationship with their parents. Many of the awake people use this idea. I can't tell them what I am. They won't believe me. They don't accept. When you say that, you're defining the idea of that version of that entity. That entity becomes that version in your reality in the next idea of co-creation. You're obligated to your mother because she fed you, or whoever represented the idea of a mother, father, grandmother, whoever it was in that idea, the one that you coveted as the parent. The obligation is automatically instilled upon the idea because a forgetful God only remembers one thing from birth when we're starting out. You're feeding me and you're protecting me. So you feed on that idea, and that obligation becomes because you accepted and got things because you found out you were at some point maybe helpless in that idea. You needed your parents to live. Yes, of course. But of course your parents are doing it because they have the joy of being a parent. Now, a lot of conscious self parents don't understand that idea, that they're truly offering an idea of a human to be an idea of themselves. However, you understand the underlying tone of that. So in that idea, you feel the obligation towards a parent or that kind of relationship. And a lot of people now are trying to fix what's not broken. The relationship with your parent is not broken. They are a God. I want to say it again. They are a God. I'm going to give you a picture. Roxy is equal to me, Sylvester. Jen is equal to me, Sylvester. Rita is equal to Abraham. Sylvester. Angel is equal to Jesus. Tom is equal to all that is. And so is your mom. And so is your dad. And so is your husband. And so is your wife. And so is your ex. And so is your ex-lover. They're all gods. And we're up here having this party. Pushing portions of ourselves into a co-created reality bubble of interaction to understand experience through the portion of limitation that we're now perceiving. How fucking awesome is that? But the meaning that the fractal fields, that weighted idea of that meaning of relationship between the ones that are kicking your ass, are exactly why they're kicking your ass. To show you what no longer services you. To show you your own self-imposed imprisonment. Your boss is not your boss. Your boss is an interaction in the now. They will never be your boss unless you define them as that. They tell you what to do and you're playing the role of employee. Yes, we understand that. Then you do your idea of that. But the moment you feel the resignation, I'm done, that's your choice. What's next? The unknown. The unknown is unconditional love. The unknown is beautiful. The unknown has everything there for you. The unknown can never be, let's say, distorted into frequency of polarity, save except by you. You're the one who says that can't be, or that isn't, or that shouldn't, or I don't, or we can't. Any of that ideas outside of the now is you taking the unknown unconditional love and distorting it into a wonderful detailed reality of polarity, and whatever scoping measure you put it in on the scale of polarity in and of itself. So the relationships, understanding what is moving you. One of the big things that humanity loves is approval of the idea of you venturing out. You're scared to death. We know. You're fucking scared. You want to become an isness. You want to live. You want to count. You want to belong. You want to say, I belong. I'm doing something. But you're so scared because that mirror says acceptance. It resonates acceptance. I'm so scared because if you don't accept me, I tried and I failed. And there it is. Fear of failure on the grading scale of reality that's been birthed, hammered, pounded into you since you were born. You go to school and you fail. Are you fucking kidding me? Your little tiny scope of reality of education, you can't fail that. That's a funneled system of limitation. I love it. But now you're ascending to understand the limitations in that, in yourself. Don't regard learning and unlearning as failure. It's evolution. You can't fail. If you have a responsibility to another person, then you are already subjected to the idea of failing that responsibility. And that failure is in your life always being graded by your own acceptance in the now to yourself in that relationship. Oh, it's so beautiful. See it. See this beauty that we're showing you on how these realities are taking your nows and distorting your reality into a frequency of what you understand as relationship to the ones you find important in the now. If your mom is doing this or this lover is doing that and reacting this way, now replace that lover with this total stranger. You wouldn't give a shit. You wouldn't. You're like, who are you? You are no one to me. Every person is a God to you. Every person you know. Every person is unconditional love. Every person is all that is. It's your way of viewing them that takes that, whatever definition you're placing upon them, and creates the relationship birthing the reality. There's so many minute, let's say, tip of the iceberg belief systems that you just can't see because of ideas that you just don't notice. Now look at this exposure of relationship. Are you obligated to anyone? Are you responsible to anyone, even yourself? I dare say no. Everything, everyone is perfect in the now. And all synchronicities, if you allow, will come in and every realm's reality will be beautiful. It can be no other way, because that's what we are. Unconditional loving gods that create unconditional realities of absolutely wonderful unconditional love, period. We, down here in polarity, condition realities to the scope of what we understand reality to be. When you start to redefine your relationship in the idea of value of those interactions, then you can see with awareness that those interactions are creating your reality of no longer preferred choices. Really dig into this. Are you obligated to anyone? No. Do you think you're going to pull the rug out from yourself if you don't want to be at the job anymore? You don't want to be in this relationship anymore. What's going to happen? Ecstasy, bliss, love, an adventurous ride of beauty. You choose love, the mirror gives love. You choose yourself, which is love. You get love. What's going to happen? The fear can't happen until you take action on the fear to create the fear, and that fear then will come. And the idea played out, but it's never, of course, as valuable as you think it's going to be. It's really, of course, never that bad. All of you right now, all of you awake that have the fears that you've been going through, we love them because they are absolute exposure of your own prison. All those fears that you've been conjuring up and valuing and looking at and seeing, how many of them come through true? Take the last year. One? One? Even one? I don't think so. Because you're here and now and everything is fine. I know everything is fine because right now I am with everybody in the now. In the now of viewing this video, in the now that is now, in the now that you are going to view it, in that idea now later. You're perfect. When you see the relationships that cause you the idea of frustration, it's you allowing that. You can't blame them. They're servicing. What greater idea joy is to see what you don't prefer in your reality? Do you need to stay there and work it out, fix the problem, make your relationship better? Are you supposed to be the idea of blood is thicker than water? Is that a construct of humanity? Yes, in the idea of belief, and it's perfect. That's your game, play it. But it's a choice. It's all a choice. Free yourself from anything that you prefer in the idea of the past that no longer resonates. Don't prefer. In the idea of the past that no longer resonates. It's that easy. But it's not. We understand. Because now, here comes the value. Right here, pardon me. Right here, it stretches. You get that emotional connection. You get so scared what's going to happen. I can't leave this idea relationship because I don't know what's going to happen. And your gut gets wrenched. It gets so turned up. You're so scared because you don't know what to happen. And you fight and you scream for it. Because you're so scared that you really are that awesome. That you really are that worthy. That you really are an individual choosing a reality And that's a big pill to swallow, and we know it. And all those fighting and trying to change other people's mind and having them save you is because you just don't want to accept what you are. Because you feel it, do you not? Do you guys not feel the resonation of the love within you? You feel in nows to come more and more how other things that were valuable, that brought you happiness, are no longer on your radar? Do you feel ideas that just being alive and you loving yourself supersede all other ideas of interactions? You feel it, don't you? You start to feel your vibration of isness. That's what you're going to. But those relationships say different things, and they're a bitch to get through. But if you do it in the now, only in the now, stay out of time, change those relationships, watch what happens. Choose you. I want this for me. Even if you have to yell it, even if you have to justify it. Doesn't matter what you do. And it's okay to save your ass. That's what you need to do. Then do it. Do not measure your actions in the now. Because every now changes you to a new version of yourself. And those actions on yourself give you a new reality. A new version of the relationships with those others. Yes, it may take a month or two to see the value between you and the relationship that you hated so much, that kicked your ass, that you needed to fix, that you're wondering why, that you're pushing blame onto them. It's their fault, it can't be mine. Only giving yourself more solidity of being a victim to your own reality. That's not you. You're not an escape artist. God. Remembering the wonderful, digging deep, struggling, smashing your identity, tearing down the walls of yourself to rebuild that castle that you've dreamed of. That stance of divine nonchalance in the now. That whatever vibrates into your world can be nothing except you. And it's all love because you birth it from within and you breathe it onto the screen of life. Those relationships are now worthy of awareness. Choose yourself. Definitions will shift when you redefine until divine in those ideas. Each idea, listen, you cannot solve all the problems because all the problems do not occur in the now. They occur in the now of all that is. But you've added an element of time. So in the now, all those ideas, issues, challenges you're faced with, do not construct them in an idea of the past or the future by saying, it's here again, when is it going to end? Be the now, and now, and now. And those idea definitions will be redefined because you're choosing yourself over the value of others. When you give yourself up to someone else and you know you don't want to do it, then you're allowing yourself to show yourself, which is beautiful. Oh yes, fucking A. That you hold them in a higher regard than your own self-love. And then that awareness tells you, and you choose their love over your love. Their value higher than yours. If it feels slipstream, frickin' choose it. We're not saying that. That's fun. That's a shiny thing to play with. But if you know you don't want to do it, but you do it anyway, then you know that you've evolved that much more, and that definition has just redefined itself that much more. Do not judge it, be patient, be now. And it'll offer itself again and again until you know you will not choose that relationship in the same manner you have in the past to keep you limited, to keep your idea bars reinforcing in the nows, your own constructed, let me out of here prison. All of those relationships of importance are interactions. Interactions in the now to understand the limitations of humanity. All of those strangers are also all of those same people in relationship. It's the value system that you see. Stranger, I don't give a shit what you say. Spouse, I have to succumb. Because if I don't, this. We're not getting along. We have to fix this. No, you don't. You change yourself and don't find value in the idea of the argument, justification for your own stance. Remember, the one who argues the one who argues loudest is the one who believes the least. When you don't argue, you never justify, because there's no need, because it's your isness. That's your choice of all reality. Understand that. And in those ideas of relationships with others, be your choice and watch the version of those others shift. They can do nothing but that, because it's your reality bubble. Those versions of those entities shift automatically to keep in accordance with your vibrational state. If they are no longer in the co-creation frequency of your world, puff, they're no longer there. You will get the versions of those ideas until it cannot be co-created any longer. The splitting earths. Have no concern for any entity that's no longer in your reality. Those entities are God. They are forever. They will be forever. They are playing a role. You will remember. You will review. You will have a party. Let's say sit around and have a cup of coffee and talk about the entire thing in a certain now. Everyone is love. Everyone is equal. Everyone is God. Everyone is this thunderous being beyond your comprehension. You are just playing an idea of a game. Those relationships of value keep you idea angst, keep the emotion stirring, keeping the fear right there on the forefront of your reality, not allowing you to choose yourself over that for the idea of it in and of itself, the fear that exists within that relationship. Is that any way to live? Are you that idea to yourself? Not giving yourself what you deserve? I dare say no. All of you that view this now have the idea balls, the idea gumption, guts, the idea of your own stillness to birth through, to choose yourself. All of you. Do it. We gave you the week. And so many interactions on how many of you shifted. Excellent. Dream state, we're talking. Conscious state, we're talking. You did it. You showed yourself. Continue the journey of limitation. Heal the species of humanity. Ascend it by ascending your world. Redefine all of your relationships. Be them in awareness. Do not get mad at them. Love them. Bring them in. Allow it to come. Thrive in the idea of your own limitations, because they are not yours. They are humanity's. And you honored us by choosing the game. So you know with your mastery that you are. So you got this shit. So you take that idea of limitation that's birthed in front of you, sitting there neatly on a plate for you to chew on, and love it. Allow it. Be it. Understand it. Dance around the facets of the diamonds of it. See its veiled idea thinness. See its value as an idea of diminishing. Tear it down and build your own castle. Use your blueprints of life. You are a God. You need no other to create you, for you are creation. Truly. Never forget the ultimate reality. Whatever it is that you choose is. Whatever it is that you choose is. Truly. I love you guys. And thank you, that of Sylvester. This is Ocyphius. It's been an honor once again, humanity. We bid you a good day. Adore. Thank you, Sylvester. Thank you so much. How are you guys?
Awesome.
I'll tell you this. Trying to get my parents' approval. Justifying that I'm a channeler and I can make money at it and trying to get them get them to believe me. I tried. Oh my God. It never fucking worked. But I loved myself. I chose myself. And the versions of the parents that I got is the ones that I always wanted. They loved me. And I didn't have to try to earn it. We have fun together now. We don't argue like we did. We talk in a new way. We relate in a new way. They've serviced me so much. They were the best parents they could be, and I love and honor them for what they've done. But I could not choose their way of understanding. And all I did was try to fight it and justify my stance for years. And the relationship was shit. Fucking train wreck. And then I found it. I found myself. And I chose it. Over and over again. And it hurt. I was so mad. Why don't they believe me that I love doing this? That I can make a life by channeling? Why didn't they believe me? Because I didn't believe it. But through the nows I do. And I got all of you here right now loving me. Because I love me. It fucking works. It works. I'm glad I didn't put mascara on today. Oh God, I fucking love it. Thank you guys, I love you. I'm gonna go. Bye.